Dead fish, sea turtles, manatees, and now dolphins washing up on shore along the southwest Florida coastline.
The releases from Lake Okeechobee continue to push more algae into the river.
And that's when we realized that this was about more than just saving our fisheries. This was a humanitarian issue. It was affecting everyone across the state.
When the water quality crisis happened in 2018 and really became unacceptable to us as a business community was when visitors stopped coming here.
The governor to declare a state of emergency over Lake Okeechobee's toxic algae problem.
That was really, kind of the wake-up call where people, saw these mounds of drift algae, this red drift algae washing up on the beach in mass. That really had an impact on tourism.
It's killing wildlife, businesses, and the fear for this charter boat captain is even when the red tide algae is gone, its impact from this outbreak will be felt for years to come.
Our businesses here on the island were crippled. We saw a 95% cancellation rate in all of our hotels and vacation rentals. And over a 6-month period of time, our businesses lost over $150 million. All of that was unrecuperable, as none of that would be covered under insurance, nor was there any relief from the federal government or state government for this type of natural disaster. And that's when we realized that we needed to step in and we had to do something as a business community.
The technologies to deal with the algae.
We're optimistic for this year. The only thing that can derail this for us is another 6 months of red tide and blue-green algae.
And that was at the point where the business community and the environmental community came together and said, look, we have the same issues here. Water quality impacts our ecology of our waters, it impacts our local economy, and we need to do something about this.
2018 taught us a lot, but it taught us not to be quiet ever. Even though the water's clear right now, it's absolutely phenomenal. It doesn't come without the work that's being done.
My name is Holly Smith and I'm the mayor of the city of Sanibel. As you likely know, Sanibel has adopted an ecological vision that places the natural environment at the top of our hierarchy of values.
And we had to adapt to figure out how we could advocate. And we are learning how to advocate better and better together.
When we started working with the business community, there was a ton of pushback in 2016, and rightfully so. It was, it's an ugly issue that had been swept under the rug for decades.
And of course, poor images do have a direct impact on business. But the reality is, if you don't bring attention to the issue and get the business community behind what it takes to restore our water, you'll continue to see a decline in water quality, and you'll continue to see an impact on businesses and our local economy.
It's kind of the mindset of, do we protect a little bit of business today, or do we ensure the future of our business for tomorrow? And that's really the mindset and the shift that we needed to make.
Over the course of the next couple of years, it transitioned into a leadership change, a culture change of the organization to not just make this an issue that they care about, but to recognize that without fixing this issue, their businesses will cease to exist.
The business owners, the conservation groups, and the residents alike were just motivated. We were aligned with our messaging, and we knew that something had to give. We had to be better at telling our story. Here on Sanibel and Captiva Islands, we realized that our main draw is the nature that surrounds us, the beaches, the ecosystem, the fishing. Everything that makes this community special is ecology-based. And so For us here on Sanibel-Captiva Islands, it is priority number one.
When you think of Florida, when you're not from Florida, what do you think of? Beautiful white sand beaches and beautiful blue water. And people aren't going to come here if we don't have clean water. Our success is directly dependent on the quality of our ecosystems.
Everything that we do on this island is connected to the water. Our economy is connected to the water. Our residents come here because of the water and the conservation efforts that we have.
Our community here on Sanibel cares about the natural resources and understands the direct connection between our natural resources and our quality of life. Here in Lee County, we have a $3 billion tourism industry. And in large part is driven by the beaches here on Sanibel and Captiva Islands.
There's so many complexities to these water quality issues that we face. The Chamber is able to put that in business terms, and they're able to be kind of a unifying group between conservation groups and environmental groups and business owners and the general public.
As a business community, we are not scientists. We don't know the backstory behind every little intricacy of water management or of Lake Okeechobee or the Caloosahatchee or the Gulf of Mexico. But we know what we do have is economic data. And without tourism in the state of Florida, there is a state income tax. We know that when we present the lost revenue that's represented to our lawmakers and legislators in Tallahassee, they not only see lost taxes and lost revenue, but lost jobs for their constituents.
So our legislators, if there's anything they understand, it's money.
The conservation community has tried to explain things to our policymakers, and what really drives it home is when the business community can back those people up and say, yes, this is affecting my dollars, which at some point make it to Tallahassee and nationally.
And getting our legislators to understand that connection between the economy and our quality of life and our water quality issues, I think was critical for moving forward with Everglades restoration.
They've always said that collaboration works best when nobody cares who gets the credit. And in this partnership, we know that the conservation community and the business community work better when they work together. And I think that without each other, our voice doesn't get heard nearly as loudly, our platform isn't as great, and our presentation isn't complete.
We could have a little bit different message. Sanibel might have a different message than captains or the chamber or SCCF, but our main message is unified, and that's protecting what we have and making sure that Southwest Florida has the voice that it deserves to have.
The progress that we've made in Tallahassee and beyond would not be possible on our own as a business community, nor do I believe that the conservation community would be telling a complete message without the business component. All of our successes is because of our joint collaboration.
Not all organizations have a strong purpose. They don't know why they exist. But when you look at an organization like Sanibel-Captiva Chamber of Commerce, they've had a purpose for existing their whole time, but they were able to recognize a threat, water quality, and make it their primary purpose for perpetuity, and recognize that until we don't have those threats in the future, they have to keep their foot on the pedal, they have to stay persistent, and make sure that they can do everything they possibly can to ensure that their businesses will be there for generations to come.
I think that our voices are stronger now than they ever have been before, and I think that we just need to continue that stewardship, make sure the partners are staying together, talking about the things, because people, if we're divided, that's when we're going to lose. And I think that as we're united, we're seeing clearly the successes over the last few years that we have not seen in decades.